thank you for your time, Josh. Really, we appreciate your time here with Headbangers Latinoamérica. Headbangers Latinoamérica is not only a media from Mexico; it's only from Uruguay, Argentina, Costa Rica, also Chile. We have a lot of headbangers from Latin America with us, so we are really glad to see you here.
Well,
In
thank you.
Well, first, I know that there are many, especially you are one of the most iconic vocalists from this new metal era, and I think that you help a lot to this entire genre. How do you think that, well, when you first start to singing, I think that you have a lot of influences that that also shape your vocalist, just shape your own style in the new metal. How do you develop your own identity as the vocalist of the new metal, also with your influences that make an icon in this genre? I'm sorry, I'm going to turn a lot of it my microphone because doggies, so you
Oh, you're
can,
good.
and then I'm going to turn up.
Perfect. Yeah, well, I mean, first of all, thank you for saying that. I vocals have been such a fun journey for me through the years. Starting out, I just I was very, very young and I just wanted to sound like James Hetfield from Metallica. Like everything just sounded like that. And just over the years, not being open to just being more of myself and finding what is my voice. And you're not always going to be able to completely hide your influences. They're influences for a reason, but being able to just combine just sounds and things that I like to hear and that I would want to listen to, um, I think is how I kind of approach it, is finding out what is Josh and what do I sound like. And I think that's always evolving on everything we do.
And you are saying something very interested. When Tetrarch started as a new metal in this new metal age on the 2000s, recently James Hetfield said something about new metal in the past that for them, when new metal started, for them was like nothing that they really like a lot.
Hmm.
He said something really special, like they were like puppies, but also they sound like Saint Anger a little bit more, like they try to be more like new metal. So
Yeah.
so really, it's interesting what you're saying that you want to sound like him, but especially in the new metal, and when it started in the end of the 90s, many people had a stigma about new metal. A lot of metal heads don't like new metal. Why did you decide to continue making new metal, and why did you decide to hold up and said, well, we don't care about it, about the stigma? Also, the one that I admire said that I don't like the style I made. So why you decide to continue, and also how do you started to develop new metal in this 2000 and 2026? Because there are a lot of fans of new metal now, also that are continue with this style, develop also, but not like in the 2000s. But you are part of this era of develop the new metal.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing is one, we were very, 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 very young when new metal was like popular. So we didn't know like how many metal fans didn't like it. We are just like, oh, these are cool songs. These are cool songs. So, as there's still some of our favorite bands, and there's still some of the biggest bands in the world, came out of that time and from new metal. So, um, I think for us, in terms of sound wise, we never were like, we want to be a new metal band. But I think just from growing up, pulling from all the different music that we liked, both heavy music and even music outside of metal. Um, I think that just kind of found its home with us, and it kind of really started. The sound changed right before our album Freak, which was our debut full length album, 2017. And that album, we were a very, very thrashy band. We wanted to be a metalcore band, this, and this, and I remember we were demoing and Diamond just randomly one day was like, "Is this bad? This demo? I'm gonna send you this, see what you think." She's like, "It's in drop A," which was like this crazy low tuning for us and all this. And I listened to it and I was like, "Oh wow, this is really cool." And it was the riff for our song Spit, which is like very heavy and kind of new metally sounding. And from there, that sparked a couple more songs, like the song Freak, the main song from it. Would have never been written if Diamond never sent me a song And then from there, that kind of led to, okay, we can pull some more sounds and influences and things into our music. And that's how we got unstable. And then just from there into the ugly side of me. So it's just been a natural progression.
Yeah, and also helped you to like to push forward the genre, with now with the new generations or with the oldest ones. I think it's a good way. And also talking about Diamond Rowe, it was really, really expected how she's part of the team, part of the group, not only in the guitar. I was watching her playing guitar and it looks so easy, but I think it's not, of course. But but how was this respectful? Well, what was this? Um, um, like this I forgot the word. How did the influence of her help you as a band to make something different? Because she said that it was the first time that she never took a microphone and started to sing that song, and for her was totally new, but also with a good experience of that you had in all those years. How was this experience with you with Diamond there on the band that changed all your perspective? Also as a woman, because well, there are many also women that said metal is misogynist and metal is not for women. So I think that also helped you to push forward the genre and to change you as a band. Do you
Yeah,
think like that?
yeah. So I mean, first and foremost, me and Diamond met each other when we were like 10 years old, 11 years old, so we've been friends for such a
Mm.
very, very long time. So we grew up learning about music and learning to play guitar at the exact same time. We would go to Guitar Center here in the Atlanta area, and we would play for hours and hours and hours, really loud and probably annoy the staff.
Hmm.
Um, and so I think, we have such a great friendship on top of being in this band. So it really has been our lives since we started. Um, I always knew that, she had like special qualities and was very unique for our genre. And I think it's just now people are starting to really understand how big it is, If you ask Diamond, she really wanted to be on here today. She just had gotten caught up and wasn't able to. But if you were to ask her, um, she'd be the first to tell you she didn't want to even think about that she's different at all, that she's a black woman in a metal band, which is unique. But she just wanted to be like the guys. She just wanted to be like Kirk Hammett and Slash and everything. So, but I would always tell her, Diamond, no, do you see how people look at you, even when we're young? Um, this is really cool. This is really special. And now she's been seeing like, oh wow, this is different, and I can reach a lot of people. So I think it's cool because it was never like a gimmick. It was just
Hmm.
authentic. We just wanted to be in a metal band together, and then from there, people have started to notice like, oh, this is different.
Exactly. And that's why metal music is really unique. I think metal is not going to be something that is not like. He's not going to be like metal, not going to be there just because metal music wants to be fun for everyone or happy for everyone. Is what it is. And I think that's the pure about also new metal. But let me talk about more about something like a four-dimension way.
Hmm.
In social media you covered "In the End" by Linkin Park, and I
Hmm.
was thinking like I know that Chester was part of your influences, but if in a four-dimension way, if Mike Shidona will call you for an audition and asking you to be part of the Linkin Park vocalist, what would you think will be on your mind? I mean, what will happen?
I'd be extremely honored and be like, wow, this is crazy. But, you know, I'm in Tetrarch and I love Tetrarch and I would never do anything, outside of Tetrarch. So it would be very, very flattering. Would it be fun to get on stage and sing a song? Of course.
Yes.
But, nah, I'm in, Tetrarch is what I love. This is what I've built since I was so young.
That's nice. That's beautiful. I love it.
Yeah. But
I
it'd be
love
fun
it.
to get on stage and sing for sure.
Yeah, of course, part of like this nostalgic part to be alive, to sing
Exactly.
with your ears. And also, 20 years ago, many people said the new metal was dead. Do you looking really that this is like happened today with the new metal? It is really that is wanted to be died, and because many people said, well, I said new metal is going to be died. There's like going to be just 5 years, and no one is going to remember new metal. But do you agree with that? What do you think they were wrong?
I think they've always been wrong. media especially has always tried to kill rock in general. Is
Yes.
rock and roll dead? Is this and this? And you look at these festivals all around the world, and these bands that are touring and drawing thousands and thousands of people, it's not dead. And
Yeah,
then especially with new metal, Korn, Slipknot, still some of the biggest bands in the world playing the biggest arenas and stadiums and things like that. So I think people like to be the first to be like, oh, this genre is dead. It's never coming back. But the fans decide that, and the fans continue to decide that rock, that metal, that new metal, that everything is still relevant.
that's true. I think it's the fans are the one that decide that it's going to continue, and also the ones that
Hmm.
they have the last word. And now talking about Mexico, this is the first time you're gonna be here. And I was reading something really interesting about a college here in Mexico that he said that now the teenagers from the 2000 we have a revenge because
Hmm.
now all ones that we cannot have the chance to go to see corn because we were teenagers. Because I have to say that my mom one day broke me a ticket from Ramstein when they came.
Oh,
Yeah, it was really really sad. But I was remember that and now there are many bands from the metal that are coming here to Mexico, and it's like the opportunity from a lot of us that watching you on MTV2 or with artists, or we try to hear the music that wasn't that available here. So this is the first time you're going to be here in Mexico finally. So how do you feel about that? This resurgence of the new metal with these new teenagers from 30 forward, and also here in Mexico of the first time.
I think it's really cool. I mean, I've seen it just even at our own shows, like whether it's in the US or we did our first European tour last summer. Um, just even at our own shows, the age range in the audience is like crazy. You see a lot of really young kids that are finding metal and this kind of sound for the first time, and they're loving it and singing along. And then every single show we have a 55, 60-year-old, dad that's like, you guys make me feel like I'm 17 again, like all of that. So it's crazy to see it just how many people still love the sound and are finding it. And I'm really excited, specifically for the Mexico City show. I've always heard that the crowds are crazy, that they're so fun and love to sing, and we put our hearts into every live show. So I'm excited to see how it translates there, and it's really cool also that they're digging the sound.
I'm sorry, I was to turn off because the bell. I'm
Oh, it's
sorry.
okay.
No, really, we are so excited to have you here because it's the first time, and as you said, it's something like new for us to have this this restoration of the new metal, and now in another area, where another space with social media, it's really cool to have you here. So really, the time is over. I really want to talk more with you, and I'm so happy to have you here in Latin America. So I don't know if you want to say hi for our fans in Headbangers Latinoamérica and to
Yeah,
come to your show also for the fans in Mexico.
yeah. And it's Headbang, right?
Yeah,
Latin America.
Headbangers.
Headbangers Latin America.
Exactly.
Awesome. You want me to say just hey, what's up or anything?
Yes, just like hi everyone, Headbang Latinoamérica.
Okay.
And that's all. Thank you.
Hey, what's up, Headbangers Latin America? I'm so excited for Tetrarch to finally come play in your countries. We're extremely excited, and I really can't wait for y'all to come hang out. We want to take pictures and meet every single one of you and just have a good time.
Thank you so much. Do you have some plans for the other cities in Latin America? You know, in, I don't know, in other countries that you want to go in the future?
We'll just kind of, we would love to go any and everywhere. We want to be a band that plays as many countries as we can. So nothing is off limits to us. This is our first time over, so we're hitting just a few spots, and then, we'll be back.
Yes, so stay on tune to see the church in all Latin America.
Yes.
Thank you so much, George, for your time, and have fun with the World Cup football this week.
Yeah, it's gonna be fun.
Yeah, thank you.